our lawyer in blue jeans, Jeff Isaac, is joining us. In this case, it's scratching a lot of heads and creating a little bit of controversy. We're talking about the High Court is barring the IQ cutoff for executions.
Yeah, basically the Supreme Court just ruled last week that they are reaffirming what there was another case called the Atkins case, but it has to do with the Eighth Amendment. And the Eighth Amendment says you can't have cruel and unusual punishment, and they are now interpreting it where if you, formerly it was called mental retardation, now it's called intellectual disability. That's the politically correct term. And they're saying that anybody that has that kind of syndrome or that condition cannot be executed. It's cruel and it's unusual in the eyes of the court, and it was a 5-4 decision. Most of the liberals, with Justice Kennedy, voted to bar this, and the conservatives basically were on the other side of the coin.
And Jeff, is it true that there was once this rigid line of if the IQ fell above 70, the person could be executed, but below they could not? And
that's really what it was all about, is defining that line. And some of the courts, you know, basically said if you have a 71, you can be executed. And the court says, wait a minute, it's not that rigid. I mean, there is some leadway there, and there's a lot of factors that are involved with the determination, and obviously that's a very subjective issue, but you know, 1 point should not, you know, make this person die.
So it's basically making the line more blurry now than it once was, because there's not that hard cutoff.
You could use the word blurry, that's correct, or it's certainly more open to determination rather than a rigid cutoff where basically 1 point kills you.
Case-by-case basis.
That's correct. That is correct.
I want to play the devil's advocate here for a minute, because if I'm a family member of a victim, somebody's murdered somebody in my family, God forbid, and somebody with the low IQ comes along and they've been sentenced to death penalty, but because they get this low IQ, they're not, it's like they still committed the crime.
Well, there's so many arguments here, Susanna, we could go into, and one is the fact that it's an emotional argument that you're correct, but laws should not be based on emotion, it should be based on principle. B, the Eighth Amendment is the constitutional amendment, and of course what they're saying is that if you have the old word mental retardation or a disability, such an intellectual disability, which is now the word, then that you wouldn't have maybe the ability to understand really what they're doing to you and why, you know, and really what you did. There's so much involved here, and I'm not defending it per se, I'm just reporting the facts, but that's how the judges have looked at this, and basically they said it's not about revenge, it's about, is this person look, if you're dying and you're ill, you can't be executed either. If you have, you know, a terminal disease, and, you know, it's just so weird that our laws are, you have to be healthy to be executed. You know, I still haven't figured that one out.
Interesting insight, and this also comes as, you know, a lot of the death penalty is essentially under attack with the controversy over the different drugs that they're using and manufacturers pulling out. A lot changing right now.
And very few people are being executed. In fact, less and less every year, it seems. I think there was like 39 a year ago. It's just very, very few comparatively to maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years ago.
The debate continues.
Lawyer in blue jeans, Jeff Isaac, thanks for being with us. Welcome back from Cabo.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
All right.